Have you ever landed on a career website not knowing exactly what's the best strategy to apply for a job? In today's video, I would like to share with you 6 criteria to help you profile an employer using data on their career website. I work with and review probably 1,000 career websites, so hopefully you'll find my information valuable. Having a background in designing such systems, I can confidently tell you that creating an account when applying for a position with any company is not justified by any technicality, and there's no law specifically asking for candidate accounts. It's basically only the applicant's time at stake here. It's not the same if a company allows you to apply with a few clicks as compared to getting through a deceivingly long process. So when companies tend to delay you, it usually means one or more of the following. They prefer traditional hiring methods versus quick applications. And remember when all applications were done through paper. They want to show a position of strength, to apply filters. And as a side note here, if there's one thing traditional HR people love best, that is for sure filters. In some cases, they believe that's just normal to create applicant accounts, simply because their software provider said so. And this brings us to the next point. It's not hard to find out if a company is using third-party software for recruiting. It's just that you must know where to look, as in many cases the layout will be consistent throughout the career website. If they do, look at the hiring software. Is it old? Is it new? What do they promote? How do they brand themselves? Same mentalities tend to form groups. And as a general rule here, the best HR departments always experiment with the newest software, while the so-called traditional ones tend to get stuck with the past. Now, for some of you, this one may sound weird, but I can assure you it's easily one of the most important differentiators of this list. If a company doesn't emphasize their values and give some insight to their workplace on their career website, that is a clear sign they're not serious about it, or even worse, they have no idea what they're doing. And I really suggest you not to apply online at all. Try finding alternative methods, such as visiting the company, or at least call them and ask more details about the company and the position. Be sure to check if they are explicit on what makes the company attractive. The reason why I'm adding it as a separate point is a Glassdoor survey in which 76 of applicants rated this as very important, and I can tell you from experience all the best employers emphasize it. And in fact, I've seen even jobs websites that emphasize the benefits without even referencing their core values. If they don't mention the benefits, carefully consider pitching them directly with this question. HR professionals will recognize this is a fair one. When looking on a career website, you're probably interested in just one position. However, if there aren't too many openings, try looking at the others too. It just takes 2 minutes to check on others, and more often than not, you'll spot interesting information. As a general rule, if a position expired, either because it's filled or because there's no longer any need for it, it should be either taken down or specifically presented with some warnings at the top. If you spot expired content, that should raise a flag over the quality of the recruiting process, and you should carefully consider how and if to capitalize on their omission. Remember, I suggested when looking for expired content to look through more than one opening. Another reason for doing so is to understand the quality of their job descriptions. What you likely don't know is designing and writing job descriptions is a big business nowadays. There are people in software businesses specialized in doing just this, simply because the better a job description is, the more likely it is to attract the perfect applicant. Now, how do you know what's good and what's not? Here's some help from one of the largest job boards in the world. Just locate your job title, see what they recommend, and compare it with the job description on the job's website. You'll quickly be able to form an idea about the ones in charge of the process. This point is to give you some qualifiers at what makes a truly outstanding career website in today's terms, because if the layout is just pleasing to the eye, it doesn't necessarily mean they are serious about it. So here are 3 qualifiers. Now, I remember it was a year ago that I visited the career website of Rolls-Royce using my iPad, and I remember even today the message saying my device was not supported. So simply put, to apply there, you had to have a Windows device. Nowadays, mobile traffic sees the ones of desktop, and while most employers adapted, there are still some that are stuck in the past. One quick method to find out if a career website is mobile friendly while using a desktop computer is by simply resizing the browser window to see how the content reacts. If the layout won't look right, then it means it's not optimized for mobile. And this may well mean the employer is not primarily sourcing using the career website, so you should consider investigating other methods to apply. Do they have their career website within their main website? While small companies will have no choice but to keep it simple, for companies with more than just a few employees, it has become the norm to dedicate at least a subdomain for their jobs website. In fact, many started using entire separate websites with a jobs extension for recruiting. So if they're a big multinational with just one page for their career website, they're most likely not too serious about their jobs, so they're probably sourced primarily through other methods. All the best employers I know make sure there's at least a secondary option to apply online. And even further, they are not afraid to take feedback. This is probably the ultimate qualifier for making a strong impression as an employer. So hopefully my list gave you some interesting insight as to what's the best approach when considering a given position. And if you're someone working in HR, this might also help you improve your digital hiring. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe and consider sharing with your friends. Thank you for watching.